Hey, what's going on, everyone? It's been a while. It's been actually, I think, 3 months, so a full quarter since the last time I put out a video, at least on my investment performance with truckwise. Take it as a good sign. Nothing bad has happened. It's been, like clockwork, kind of like the whole time. I'll just give you the numbers now up front, and then give you just kind of a little update on where I'm at, what I've heard from other people, what I've heard from Wesley, the past few times I've talked to him. So I think the last update I provided was from the February revenue period, which I received in March. So this will be from the March, April, May revenue periods. Revenue period March, I received $2,310. April was $2,410, and May was $2,403. So pretty consistent, plus or minus $100. I would expect, based on last year, towards the end of the summer, it started to ramp up a little bit, but these numbers are pretty consistent with the time period last year. So it dipped in the winter like we expected, and now it's kind of leveled off in spring, summer, and then I'm gonna guess there'll be a little bit of bump towards the end of the year, but you never know, nothing's guaranteed. So that's it for my performance. I think in May we actually, what I did, I took, I started the business, the LLC. You get a tax write-off from losses on the business. So because I invested last year, on paper in December, it looked like I had a huge loss, and so I got a huge tax return, and I put that back into the business, which basically took care of the rest of the debt that I had on the first credit card that I used to pay for all of this. So I hit the break-even point in May, or maybe it was early June, I forget. But I went ahead and doubled down. I got 2 more option 1 packages, so now I have 3 running. One of them was the kind of first option one it was like 30 months of 10% revenue share, and then the 2 I just got were 36 months of 8% revenue share. And then with all 3 of those going together, it should again more or less be about a 1-year break even. So this time next year, hopefully I'll be reporting to you guys that I've broken even again. And then at that point, I just don't have another funding source. So that kind of might be it until I accumulate cash. And I don't even know if Wesley's going to be having this option 1 thing, since it's used for a very specific purpose, and in theory it won't be around forever, but it looks like he came out with some new stuff recently that might change that. But yeah, I've had a few people reach out to me over the past few months with some concerns and like, hey, where are your videos at, and all this and all that. I just wanted to put out there that, I put out some videos in the spring with Wesley. We did Zoom calls together, and I thought it was great. And I thought, for the people that are going to invest, it's probably really nice to see me, just a normal guy, talking with him, sort of in an unbiased way. But on one hand, in order to to kind of maintain that unbiased nature, I didn't want to get love Wesley, he's a great dude, but for the purposes of this YouTube channel, I want it to be completely unbiased. And if I'm hosting him on my channel, it looks like I'm trying to sell his product for him and completely endorse it as a salesman, and it would prevent me from being any bit what's the word I'm looking for? Any bit, I don't know, I'd be afraid to share harsh opinions if I had them, and when I do have them, I want there to be a healthy distance between me and him, so that there isn't this awkward, like, hey, I thought you were helping me out, but you're still criticizing me. So yeah, I told him respectfully, like, hey, I'm sure it's beneficial for both of us to do this, but in order for me to maintain the transparency that I want to have, I can't do this anymore. So nothing against Wesley. I wish I could still keep doing that, but I think in my position, I need to be able to maintain the ability to criticize transparently, and not kind of get in this gray area of where my I don't know, alliances are. But I have experienced nothing alarming with him personally. I will say, you know, in full transparency, I have had several people reach out to me that have option 2 and 3 packages that started, you know, in the time frame of when I did, all the way until like the back end of last year and even the beginning of this year, and they were having issues. They were having issues getting paid on time, meeting and I think the price, the sort of like expected earnings. I'm not going to say it's untruthful. I'm just going to say that based on what they have told me, and this is maybe 2 or 3 people, what they projected sort of their expectations to be were based on what was on the website and what kind of they were sold on. And it has been extremely hard to meet those advertised expectations. And there's good reasons for that. I've talked to Wesley about it. There's good reasons for all of that. And I will say a lot of it has to do with drivers and maintenance. And I mean, that's the name of the game. Like, if you buy an option 2 or an option 3 package, you are putting all of that money into a single truck, and you depend on a single driver and that truck to maintain, like to stay working. And if it doesn't go well, like you're gonna fluctuate so much more. So, and then another one, I think there was a guy, he brought his own truck on board, and he was saying that, you know, his truck wasn't it was just sitting there and it wasn't running. And I think for those of you who do have trucks, and it made sense when Wesley explained this to me. So he has a pool of trucks that any new driver can come and select. And if you have an older truck that isn't, you know, that's not quite as comfortable, or, you know, doesn't quite have all the bells and whistles that a newer truck has, they're not going to choose to drive that truck. So, you know, again, I don't own a truck, but if I were to bring on one, it would make me second guess. Like, I would probably want it to get a newer truck to be competitive in order to get a driver in that seat. And I'm not saying that there's like 20 trucks just sitting there at his yard. I have no idea, but I guess in this case, there was an issue with that truck being down a lot because no driver wanted to drive it. But anyways, yeah, there's a lot of nuances with it, and that's why I didn't invest in option 2 or 3. You guys have seen that my experience has been very consistent, and I haven't had any issues, and I wanted to maintain that predictability. So option 1s were what I chose to do again. Yeah, but I think, yeah, I still have full confidence in what Wesley has been able to do. Everyone I've talked to that has had option 1s has also not had any issues. So it's not, I don't think this is a truckwise issue, like the late payments, the you know, truck downtime and all that. That's not a truckwise issue. I think it's an issue with the package structure in the volatility that exposes an investor to. And I think people were shocked by that. I will also say that a lot of the folks that I've talked to, are a few of them, it's not like I've talked to 15, 20 people. It's been less than 5 maybe. A lot of them have gone in on multiple packages very quickly, like all at the same time or within the span of 3 to 6 months. And that's a lot of risk on an unproven model. Like one guy went in and bought like 5 trucks an option 3. Another guy's got like 2 option 2s and an option 3. And this is all within several months and on an unproven business model, an unproven investment model. So yeah, I don't know. Just from my point of view, that's why I wanted to dip my toes in the water, wait until it fully paid itself off before I went and did this again. I mean, hats off to you if you can take a risk like that. You know, probably been successful elsewhere in your life taking that much risk, but for me, I was not comfortable with that, kind of for those reasons. So again, if you're thinking about this for your own sake, just think about that. I'm not gonna tell you what to do. But yeah, I mean, I had confidence now to double down on my initial investment. So that says where I'm at. Yeah, I think that's all I have for now. And yeah, I look forward to giving you updates on 3 different packages as I think next month. At the end of this month, I should be getting that, maybe end of August. But yeah, you guys will hear from me. All right, see you next time.